Hey, Ekris here. I'm going to show you some cool boss killing tech. I was away last week, it was my birthday, and that was sort of all my free time. And yeah, had a great time, but meant I couldn't do any post stuff. So this is a video that I had ready to go a little bit ago, and it has to do with killing bosses sort of safely and comfortably as a necromancer. This is something I had initially in mind for one of the gauntlet runs. I had it for, I believe it was the ultimatum gauntlet. Um, and it didn't end up being relevant because my character didn't get to the endgame bosses. But what this is built for is to safely and quickly phase things like Maven and high level conquerors and all that. You would never bother with this for a map boss. My plan was literally to respec a bunch of points to get to this tree. Not a hell of a lot of points. Most of the stuff is sort of there anyway. Obviously, this is a 317 tree, so it wasn't even quite like this. But the principle holds. What I was running at the time was I was doing the operative specters, just because they clear maps really quickly, and then you could switch to this for popping bosses. Um, and it's based on any sort of tree that you would normally see for popcorn build, popcorn skeletons, bees, or one of my weirder animated weapon things. But this takes advantage of some specific uniques. So it's not something that you do until you have a little bit of time to farm and make sure you get them, at least in a solo self-found environment. And I'll show you how it works. So minion instability, which if you've watched my stuff, I'm sure you've seen. Minions explode and they reach to low life, dealing 33% of their life as fire damage to surrounding enemies. So this is sort of built on an old popcorn skeletons tree, which uses a unique mace called Arendel's Embrace, which means your skeletons take fire damage over time. And as well, you link them with Infernal Legions. They have two ways that they're taking damage. They get below 50%, they blow up. And the gameplay for that is summon your skeletons on a pack, they blow up, kill the pack, run, run, run. And you're using Vol summon skeletons, sorry, not just normal skeletons. You get to a boss, you click Vol summon skeletons, a shit ton of skeletons show up and blow up, the boss presumably dies. That build was nerfed a lot with the skill gem changes from a few leagues ago. So it's not nearly as strong as it used to be. It's still good. I prefer it to bees, which has never been a build that I've understood with some of the other options out there, but that's sort of beside the point. It's a lot weaker since then, but it's still relatively fun. And this is sort of like that, but on an extreme level. Um, well, not exactly like that. It's a minion instability build. So it works off of two things. The first thing I should show is the flask. So what it says is it removes all but one life on use, which obviously if you get it to apply to your minions would be awesome for proccing minion instability, which is exactly what we're going to do. And you pair it with the Umbilicus Immortalis leather belt, which says flasks do not apply to you. The flasks apply to your raised zombies and specters. And how we're doing this is just we have that belt on, we drink that flask, it applies to our zombies and specters, they get down to one life, which is obviously below 50%, they blow up and do a shit ton of damage. So we go into a fight like the Maven, we go in, let our creatures get there, drink the potion, they do, 14 million or whatever it is that I have on the number right now. And this is not optimized gear at all, by the way. You could easily get this to 20 million and more. You portal out. Obviously, that gives you your charges back. You resummon all your zombies in your hideout. You resummon your specters in your hideout. You go back in. You're still in the grace thing where you can't get hurt. You let your minions get to them. You take a step. You drink the potion, and probably they're just dead. But if there's another phase to the boss, you can repeat that however many phases the boss has. I don't think there's anything with more than 4 phases. But anyway, extremely safe way to kill an endgame boss. And I'm going to show you the numbers. So for Raise Zombie, which I just have on a 4-link, you could potentially use a 6-link setup, but this is for the 4 links. So we have 8 zombies that are doing a little over 250,000 each, so that's going to be 2 million plus some change. And our Spectre is on a 6-link. And for the Spectre, I do have, by the way, a level 3 Empower. Cruelty actually does more damage, but just with the low level gear that I had, I needed Empower to get to the breakpoint of Spectre. Needed to get to the breakpoint of Spectre, having maximum 3 raised Spectres in the demo. I'm actually just going to demonstrate it with raised zombies without the specters being relevant. I do not have minions have frenzy charges turned on because I'm using some high health specters to do damage. If you look at it, the numbers are a little bit better with frenzy charges, but I wasn't sure you'd have 100% uptime on that, and I think it to get 100% uptime sort of added another step that didn't seem worthwhile. So I'm not assuming that you have Carnage Chieftain. I'm assuming that on the Raised Spectre, you're using the Stone Skin Flare, which is one of the highest health specters in the game. So they each will go off for about 3.33 million, a little under that, and you're going to have 4 of them. So that's 12 million there, plus the 2 million from the zombies. So you have 14 million just from drinking that potion. And the specters are on a 6 link in this setup. So just for the gear, I'll go over the only 2 things that you need are the Immortalis and the thing. I guess I should have showed this here. It won't affect the damage, I don't believe. It does affect the resistances. So obviously you'll need to balance that out. This isn't meant to be a full demonstration. And then you have the coruscating elixir as one of your potions. The other item that I have in here is Akuna's Will. This means your raised zombies have 90% increased maximum life, and they don't require a corpse. You don't need this, it just makes it a bit stronger. Same deal with Replica Arendel's Embrace. This is somewhat helpful because it gives them the Covered in Ash debuff, which I do have turned on. If you don't have this, and I think you could probably get a high-end rare that does more damage than giving the Covered in Ash debuff, but the Covered in Ash debuff is nice. This is one of the absolute most common replica uniques that you get in heist contracts. I'd be shocked if you're up to fighting pinnacle bosses and you haven't had the option to get at least one, but it is also entirely optional. It's just a bit more damage, but if you had a better weapon, and it wouldn't be that hard, I think, to get a rare weapon that's in that range, or you were going to say that you're applying the Ash debuff in a different way, you could absolutely do that. Blood Bond is just generically good for any popcorn build. It increases your minion's maximum life, but you could have any sort of decent 6-link. I don't have Blood Offering turned on, I don't believe. Yes, these are the numbers even without Blood Offering going off. If I were to turn that on, then the numbers would be even better. But these are conservative numbers. Don't have Animated Guardian turned on or anything. There's no modifiers, or I don't even have Animated Guardian for the setup. But in any case, I'm just going to show you how it works. This is just supposed to be proof of concept. What I've done is I've just done a low-level beach map, and I'm going to go blow up that Hellrake impersonator. So just going to put on the appropriate gear. So what we're going to do... Oh, let me actually swap this out for a zombie. And my raised zombie gem is pretty low, which means it's like even considerably less damage than I said in the video. My specters are only like on a 2-link, and I don't even think it has a minion life on. They're just the Carnage Chieftains from running around. But like I said, this is why I'm not demonstrating on a Guardian, because I only have 7 zombies, and these aren't the right specters, and this is way less damage, but I wanted to show at least how it works. So, I'm going to go up, there, and we blow them up. And that's how it goes. And if it was a phase boss, you could portal out, resummon your zombies. We have Akuna's Will, so we don't even need to cast Desecrate. But you could obviously just do it with Desecrate. Here I just have the Carnage Chieftains, which are not nearly as good as the Stone Skin Flayers. Oh, my zombies died because I have the replicas on, that's right. So yeah, in between you might want to not have this on immediately. You could summon your zombies just with the normal Arendelles and then go in like that. Obviously, it's in your hideout, so you don't need to have it perfectly. That could be your very last step. Step in the portal and blow them up. But yeah, that's how it works. If you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you guys in the next one, which may be a little while. I don't really have immediate plans to play a lot more Poe. I got Elden Ring, and I have other things that I need to do that aren't playing video games. But I do enjoy Poe. I will come back and do some more stuff. Might show a couple more meme builds. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Mike was out.